are going to sail ourselves off to the south radar station 02. That seems to be the place in which Wolfmörder appears to be attacking primarily. So down through the hallways of the Axis defended base, trying to stop that Axis transmission from reaching the Führer, an Axis-held Germany. Waiting for the incoming carnage. DT Shutter medic now standing guard, backed up by DT Tree, another medic, and DT Mozart, the engineer, dropping grenades into the hallway. Incoming allies eat grenade, but here they come. Revenge and Idiot Savant, engineer, and Leutman, or rather lieutenant, respectively, fighting their way through the hallway, but meeting a phalanx of dropped pineapple grenades. Now rushing in, you can hear the machine gun MP40 fire. And it is the Axis defense Mozart engineer who gets the lead and the kill in that situation. Going to get revived by Shutter. Incoming allies. Oh, right there. It's a little teammate kill. Looks like we might have had a grenade kill, and Wolfmörder take themselves out in the hallway, but are now reviving. We've got Jag, a medic, and an assistant medic as well. Jag and Idiot Savant, a lieutenant, now have control of the storage chamber just outside of the secondary control station for the radar. Samstein engineer is now fighting a brilliant fight, but takes a grenade. You cannot come back from death when you have no head. Game over for him. Trying to make the plant, trying to get inside the secondary radar station. That's where the carnage happens for you, right here. But the Allies falter, and the Axis sneak in from the other side. The Allies come in from the other side and make a plant on the first radar station 01. Right now we're going to head over there and find out exactly if they're going to be able to take it down. Moving through the hallways to the primary radar station. Axis now in position, but are going to get taken out. Here comes the engineer Samstein. He's running against time. He's got about 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, and defuses the dynamite in the nick of time. Nice play from engineer Samstein, the deathTouch team. Wolfmörder allies are striking at both objectives at once, forcing the Axis deathTouch team to engage in a very shifting, movable Axis D. They now need to shift their defense yet again as the dynamite is planted in the south radar station. Mozart, engineer, making his way through the hallways. There is carnage and fighting, and it has been planted. Samstein again with the pliers out, and he defuses, saving the DT team once again. What an engineer. Second defusement right there from Samstein with 11:55 on the clock. Each moment that passes is another moment that the Wolfmörder team is going to need to hold their D against the incoming powerhouse that is deathTouch. Keep in mind, deathTouch set the clock with a remarkable 1:42. Both towers destroyed. Give them any additional time, and you know they can complete their objective. 140 listeners dialed in. TSN website back online. Glad to have you. My name is TSN Warwitch, your solo Axis Shoutcaster here tonight. Currently around radar station number 2. You can hear the carnage in the hallways. Machine gun fired. Here comes the incoming Allied rush trying to get in. Bodies everywhere. Grenades exploding. Wolfmörder arms and Wolfmörder Idiot Savant, lieutenant and engineer are getting mowed down. Jag taken out as well. Jag making the revival. Nice medic attempt from Jag, bringing his allied friends back into the pace of the carnage. But ultimately, it looks like the Axis are going to win out on the secondary radar station and secure it against the incoming Wolfmörder rush. 10:38 remains. Wolfmörder now striking very hard on the secondary station. Incoming Husky engineer trying to clear the way, but he's got an entire Axis team. And he meets destruction right there as he is taken out by his own teammate. Revenge and Husky gun each other down. Either a grenade or Panzerfaust action. Not going to be helpful in planting that dynamite. Many explosions going off around the South Tower. Allies rushing in one more time, meeting heavy iron-handed Axis defense. Score is now 1-0. DT has the lead. machine gun fire is just monumental here around. Here's an incoming airstrike that's probably going to take everybody out. Incoming airstrike takes out several members of the DT team. Bloody hand-to-hand combat engaged currently inside the second radar station. Blood across the consoles, machine gun fire. Too much action to cover. Here I remain. Once again, the Axis DT team maintain control of the South Radar Station, 02. 9:09 on the clock. Allies now coming through the tunnels, trying to get the base penetration they're looking for. Jag is alone, drops the grenade, and takes out the Axis defender. Incoming DT. Two of them are cut down. I said it. Shot down in the field by Husky, Arms, and the rest of the incoming Wolfmörder allied team. They've now got themselves a potential plant here as they are rushing in, taking out one DT member after another, and making the revivals, meeting heavy resistance around the actual station itself. DT now moving to a heavy defensive position on the second station, lightly guarding the primary 01 defensive radar system. Mozart engineer mowing down any straggling Allied attempts. Down the stairwell he goes, gunning down the Allied intruders to the Axis base. 8:06 into the Allied, or rather Axis transmission can be sent to Defira, in which we will have a full time set on the clock. Wolfmörder still have 8 minutes to attempt to destroy both of the radar stations. Thus far, they have not been able to plant a single set of dynamite in this particular round. Nice moves from the Wolfmörder team, however, they are making the revivals that are needed. Jag and Arms, nice medic action right there. Idiot Savant, Wolfmörder Lieutenant, they're trying to clear out the secondary station. Once again, meeting heavy gunning the resistance right there. Axis firing squad, and they've got the plant. Husky engineer now at the plant, making the attempt. No, he might take a grenade, and he's dead before he can do it. He is taken out by a grenade just in time. It looks like it might have been DT Tree who dropped a grenade into the secondary radar station chamber and took out Husky before he could plant the dynamite. deathTouch still in firm control with 7 minutes remaining. Primary focus here of the Wolfmörder team, the secondary station in which they have had, as of yet, no luck in planting dynamite. Once again through the hallways, the primary hallways, the incoming hallways. Here come the Allied team. Wolfmörder now striving to gain entry, but eating only grenades, and they are going to get gunned in the field, shot down firing squad style. Regaining control now of the storage chamber just outside or in front of the secondary radar station. They now have control. They are now moving in, sweeping in. Here's the potential plant. Husky. Flyers are out and a-working, making the attempt. Can he get it this time? And the dynamite is planted. 6:15 on the clock. Only a matter of time until the dynamite explodes. Cap 1 Soldats with the Venom laying down any attempting allies to try to make their way through the hallways. Got a Venom guarding the entrance into the primary radar station 01. The Allied team have disabled the south radar. Let's focus our attentions now on the north radar, where you know the deathTouch team are going to be found. Making my sojourn here to the north radar 01. No deathTouch to be found. No, there is Kato, a Leutman standing guard down the tunnel O-Death. Most of the deathTouch team are in the hallways fighting a slow but vigilant retreat. Here come the Allies now moving through the hallways themselves. Arms and companions. There's the machine gun fire as they meet the Axis defense. 5:10 on the clock. We are in the final moments on the Battle on Das Beachhead tournament. Teams are being slowly filtered out in this incoming engagement. Head-to-head Axis versus Allies 1944. Wolfmörder versus deathTouch here. DT up 1-0 in this first matchup tonight here on TSN. DT3 medic Leutman Demak and engineer Mozart for DT Axis defense are in good position here to keep the allied attackers at bay. They are near the North Radar station, but still fighting a slow resistance. They are not guarding the station itself, but fighting backwards ever so slowly, giving very little ground and trying to make the allied Wolfmörder team fight for everything. Every inch they're paying with blood. Incoming allies Jag and Husky dropping grenades, trying to clear out the path in the hallways beyond, dropping an airstrike. That's gonna hurt. Allies trying to rush in, but there is a Venom in action. You can hear it now through the doorways. It is Cap 1 firing through the grated screen of iron. Bunker-to-bunker combat on the second story with 338 remaining. Dynamite plant near the 01 radar station. Let's find out if it can last. 2 dynamite sets are planted. 3:28 on the clock. Wolfmörder looks like they might actually get the station down and score themselves a potential point. Incoming airstrikes. Affirmative. And it looks like they are going to secure themselves both of the radar stations and an allied potential victory for Wolfmörder. 3:06 remains, and the allies have disabled the North Tower. The clock is set to 11:55, the time for DT to beat. Keep in mind, they did so in 1:42. That is a lot of time for the deathTouch roster. We'll be back with more in a moment.
Oberkommando der deutschen Wehrmacht ist bekannt. Die große Schlacht in Belgisch und Französisch Flandern geht mit der Vernichtung der dort im Kampf gestandenen englischen und französischen Armeen ihrem Ende entgegen.
Battle on the Beachhead is sponsored by Grey Matter Studios, developer of Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Formerly Zatrix Entertainment Incorporated, Grey Matter has developed such titles as Redneck Rampage, Quake 2, The Reckoning, and Kingpin, Life of Crime. For more of what Grey Matter has to offer, check out www.gmistudios.com. Grey Matter Studios.
Welcome back to the carnage. World War II has never been so exciting, with 5 seconds on the clock as we begin our sojourn into the battlefield. Yet again, the map tonight is base. The teams, Wolfmörder versus deathTouch. The score, 1-0 in favor of DT. The time to beat, 11:55 on the clock. And now Wolfmörder are Axis defense. DT have beat the clock in 1:42. We're going to find out if Wolfmörder can step up the defense here right now and bring it home. North Radar Station, number 1, attempting to make the transmission. They've got a solid time to do so, 11:55. Have got to keep the Allies at bay. Jag medic right there holding off the incoming Allied attack from the deathTouch team. Second station is now clear. Let's move down the hallways and find out where deathTouch can be found. I do not see deathTouch in the hallways leading to the secondary station, likely to be attacking the first station. Now passing Engineer Muddy, who is planting dynamite in the incoming crates where the deathTouch team will find themselves entering. Dynamite is now planted. Very quiet from the deathTouch offense. Have not yet seen them in action. Once again, all is silent on the Eastern Front. Wolfmörder Revenge engineer now watching from a distance the primary 01 radar station. Husky engineer now looking down towards the tunnel of death. And it looks like something that I possibly had missed. And what might have caused the incoming faltering of the incoming DT offense. Watching the OGL admins talk here, it looks like Wolfmörder had planted dynamite in the hallway and it had taken out 4 of the incoming deathTouch assault. $9.50 remains. deathTouch have faltered, but no. Likely are planning some grand scheme or extravagant assaults. All is quiet. deathTouch nowhere to be found. Wolfmörder death squads are on patrol. No sign of the enemy. Where could they be? Radar station 01 clear. Radar station 02 seems to be engaged. Here come the allies. Brief attempt right there, and they've got a possible securement of the second station, but they are fighting the Wolfmörder team in the hallways. Blood and machine gun fire. Incoming Mozart right there with the attempted plant. Tries to get in, taken out, and the dynamite will not get armed. Wolfmörder revenge. Nice defense right there. Engineer now planting another set of dynamite in the hallway in which you will find the incoming deathTouch team assaulting. It seems to be paying off. 8:42 remains. All Wolfmörder needs to do is hold off deathTouch for 8 solid minutes. If they can do that, they're going to score themselves a point and put themselves on the board. Incoming deathTouch dropping the airstrikes across the secondary radar station. Moving to the lower hallways. Past the storage trucks and storage chambers, now moving upwards and fighting a gallant fight up the stairways and now striking deep. Kato Engineer trying to make the attempt. deathTouch Kato is going to get shot in the head. And as we are paying attention to the secondary station, we've got a dynamite plant in the primary 01 radar station. Right now, right here, Wolfmörder now making the attempt. They are moving quickly over to that station to try to make the disarm. We are there now. Incoming revenge takes a machine gun fire from behind. The entire Axis team is here. They own the primary radar station 01 with 10 seconds or so remaining until it blows. Can they make the disarm? It does not look like they can. 9, 8, 7, 6. Boom! A little bit off on the time. And the 01 radar station is down. 7:31 remains. A 2-pronged attack. Dynamite plant on the second station. Nice, nice, nice. deathTouch bid their time and then struck both stations nearly simultaneously, forcing the Wolfmörder team to split their team or send their entire team in one direction or the other. What that means is that DT can definitely count on dynamite plants in either one or both of the radar stations. Good game. Both stations down. And the Allies have successfully beat the clock. That is a second point for DT and a grim situation for Wolfmörder. Game not over. Wolfmörder needs to win the next 2 rounds if they want to stay in the game. This is the critical moment for them here tonight on TSN. Back with more 60 seconds as World War II continues.
Wilfred Vaughan Thomas speaking with Herbert Walden recording. That's the sounds of the first sounds of our own act, and it's a sign that the usual night raid on our position here is coming in. Right above us, the sky has suddenly become as bright as day. The German flares are burning, hanging almost motionless overhead in the night sky, and a shower of glittering silver light coming down from them. Here on the ground, we feel as if we were standing under the flares on a fairground. Every tree, every house seems clearly lit up, and our old flak is getting furious and fierce. First bombs going down, it's away to the left of us, but even back here the ground around is shaking viciously, and Walden's recording truck is now rocking on its springs.
RTCW.
Return to Castle Wolfenstein.
Here on TSN.
Glad to have you dialed in. The score is 2-0. deathTouch is up here tonight in this first primary matchup. 9 p.m. EST was the start time, and now is the critical time for the Wolfmörder team to make their attack. The goggles, they do nothing. Now don't forget, after tonight's game, DT versus Wolfmörder, we're going to have an in-game, or hopefully, I had a hard time getting in contact with deathTouch. Hopefully going to have a post-game interview with a member of the DT roster. If not, well, I definitely have something lined up for Empire vs. Krieg. Empire vs. Krieg, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And the victor of that map, I will definitely have an interview with, for sure. No reason to disconnect. 150 listeners dialed in thus far. Very glad to have you here. TSN Team Sportscast Network, we began in Tribes 1 and Tribes 2. We're now making our break into RTCW, Urban Terror, Counter-Strike, and more. My name is TSN Warwitch, your solo Axis Shoutcaster, and I urge you, I've been forgetting about this, go ahead and hit Alt-T on your mini browser. Your Winamp, go ahead and hit Alt-T. That's going to open up a little mini browser. And my little bio's in there. That's right, a little self-promotion. Gonna let that play here for a little bit, and I've got another fun little file to play. You'll be seeing the TSN using the mini browser a lot more in the coming days, from inclusive online polls where you can vote as a game is underway, to various little film clips and movies of sorts. So once again, Alt-T, your mini browser, gonna open up a window, and that window's gonna stream in some interesting little pictures to add to the themes of RTCW. Now, I'm not quite sure what the delay is, but there seems to be a slight delay, and with that in mind, the Wolfmörder is going to use the party. That's right. A man has got to take a break. Nonetheless, another World War II war report, and I'll be back in a moment for you.
Was the first decent-sized town we had taken, but there wasn't any celebration because we knew nothing had been settled. Jerry was as strong as ever. One of the men said, "God, are we going to have to go right across the world doing this to beat them?" Because most of Con was dust, just plain dust. I wondered what Hamilton back home in Canada would look like after a beating like that. Well, anyway, our tanks and the British started massing and moved south out of the city. We knew there was a big dude coming up.
Most about listening to the TSN would be the smooth and mellow tunes played during TSN's prime time.
Out of the way.
Dropping the drink. This is not good. Chain gun fire now checking up. Here comes the assist. Oh man, wow, good maneuvering there mid-air.
OMFG, TSN, Psy, Lee.
Booyah, Grandma. Booyah.
You're listening to TSN.
You've got it locked in to TSN, the Team Sportscast Network, and the match is underway. A slight delay, but now DT and Wolfmörder back on server. The Wolfmörder team, Axis defense 7-on-7, as we start the fun and turn down the in-game music just a tad. Let us track down the action and find out exactly what deathTouch is up to here tonight. Now keep in mind the score is 2-0. deathTouch do have the lead, a significant lead thus far in the first engagement, the battle of forces here this evening. Down on the lower foyer, if I can learn to speak, incoming deathTouch allies are sweeping in, and it looks like it's not going to work in their favor as the craziness. I can't even shoutcast anymore. Dynamite plant near the North Radar Station, and we've got a dynamite plant, double dynamite plant near the North Radar Station. 2 dynamite sets in position. Woo! Lost my ability to speak. Keep in mind here in this particular round, Wolfmörder, Axis, deathTouch, the Allies, and a double plant on the North Radar Station very quickly with 13:44 remaining. The dynamite is down, the station is down, they have disabled the North Radar Station. Now I hear the potential here for a secondary plant. We're going to find out right now just how quickly DT has set the secondary plant. Do they have it in position? DT now with firm control over the radar station. We've got a dynamite plant in the station itself, and this could be it. Only a matter of time, and another very quick assault from the DT team are holding off the incoming Axis defense, and it's down. The time is set to 1:46. DT down by 4 seconds. A little bit slower than they were the very first round. Nonetheless, a very, very quick time has been set, and a time that Wolfmörder needs to beat. Keep in mind, Wolfmörder set the time at 11:55. That is far removed from the 1:46 that is currently there, but do not count the Wolfmörder team out. They can do it. The battle is nearly over, but I've seen crazier thing happens. I've got faith in the Wolves of the North. In-game fun explodes. And how many times am I going to use that word? Explodes. Game will be returning here to you, in T-minus 40 seconds or so. My name is TSN Warwitch. A do-or-die situation for Wolfmörder. Time for them to bring up that Axis defense. Or rather, time for them to storm the Allied offense and beat the time of 1:46.
Here we go again. Another plane's come over. Looks like we're going to have a night tonight. Get them to our line. Another one coming over. 30 seconds. Something burning is falling down through the sky, circling down. Maybe a hit plane. Here we go. They got one. They got one. We got that one. We got it right here. Hey, did we? Yeah. This one? Just off our port side in the sea. You said it. Gun number 42 at our port, just beside the microphone, shot down the plane that fell into the sea. It was their first kill for this gun. The boys were all pretty excited about it. They're already taking now, painting a big star on their turret. They'll be at that first thing tomorrow morning when it's daylight. Meantime, now the French coast is quieted down. All around it is darkness.
All around us, darkness and shadows. A very dark time for the Wolfmörder team. The game is underway. 40 seconds have already elapsed. And we've got a dynamite plant. Wolfmörder incoming. Revenge right there. Engineer, he's got a plan near the North Radar Station. Do they have a plan on the South Station? We've got to find out right now. 47 seconds on the clock. Can Wolfmörder beat the time? Secondary station online. Not going to happen. 37 seconds. They may have a chance if they can lay the dynamite down now. Incoming Husky. There's the engineer for the Wolfmörder team. If he can lay it down now, he's got a chance. But no! Husky taken out by a Panzerfaust from Cap 1. And there goes the victory for Wolfmörder. Wolfmörder take out the North Radar Station, but all hopes just died with Husky and the Panzerfaust that took him to the grave. 10 seconds remain. Good games being exchanged, and ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be a victory for deathTouch. The Allies could not beat the clock, and the game is over. Congratulations to deathTouch, going to be moving on to the next engagement, the next round. TSN far from over. Hopefully a little post-game interview with deathTouch this evening, and then tonight, Empire vs. Krieg. Back with more in just a moment.
The following is a paid public service announcement from the Parents Against Elite Haxers Foundation.
Billy and I used to play. Yeah, we used to play a lot. Because Billy was my friend. And one day, Billy and I were playing. Billy was shot through a wall.
Please, don't let lead haxers affect your life. If you know or are someone that needs help, please do the right thing.
Well, the right thing was done tonight. Incoming to my Roger Wilco for TSN. Yeah, the moment you've been waiting for. A lot of listeners dialed in. My IRC once again lit up like a demonic Christmas tree. Won't be able to get to all the private messages I have, not yet. But incoming to my Roger Wilco here in just a moment. DT Cap 1. I probably slaughtered his name. We're going to find out. He's going to correct me. Little post-game interview. Keep you all entertained. Get ready for Empire vs. Krieg just a little bit later tonight. 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In about 1 hour. Now you're here on the TSN Team Sportscast Network, and you've just witnessed Wolfmörder versus deathTouch. With me, I've got Cappy, Cap 1. You know, I think I pronounced your name wrong all game. Going to be your chance here to correct me. Welcome. And how do I pronounce your name? Cappy's very quiet. Can you hear me? Find out. Always happens.
Warwitch, you there?
Wow, you're loud. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up?
Let me lower your mic level here just a touch if I can. All right, go ahead and try now.
All right, how do I sound now?
A little bit loud, but I think people can live with it. So let's get this little interview underway. What a roller coaster you guys have had so far. You began... Let me get my notes here. The cast is unprepared. All right. You began facing off Double Wolfenstein. 2 boarded men's, SPC Shredders, and Ukraina. And now Wolfmörder. Out of all those teams you fought thus far, which has really given you the greatest challenge?
To date, I'd have to say T-Bar. No, that's just a shout out to my lady Ridley. I'd say Ukraina. Ukraina by far has been the toughest.
And they were a very good team. You've defeated every team that's come against you thus far. How did you feel tonight going into base? Now, I've heard it rumored that base is one of the better maps for deathTouch. Is this true, or is it just another map in the arsenal that is the deathTouch team?
I won't say it's the best map, but by far it's one of the maps we've practiced the most on. Like said, it's really tough to defend, and we spent weeks on base and on sub. They're both equally tough.
You know, how do you feel about that 1 minute and 42 second plant that you had in round 1, set 1, that was almost beat by your other plant of 146, but that was the fastest time that we saw, and a very fast time on that map. You had to feel pretty good as a team leader that your team was able to pull that off. What was your feeling the moment that happened? Did you feel that you were able to do that, or did that surprise you?
In the past, we've been able to plant real fast like that. A lot of times we can catch a team by surprise, and we spring up on them. We try not to divide up our offense too much, and if we can overwhelm a team, we can usually get both plants in under 2 minutes.
Well, you certainly did that tonight. You really proved the dominance of the deathTouch team. Very curious, there was a point in the later rounds that it seemed like the deathTouch offense had stalled, or that you were planning something big. Now, can you maybe give us a little hint about what was going on at that point?
What had happened in round 2 is that when we were attacking Radar 2, Wolfmörder did something really cool, which was plant a dino near the bottom of Radar 2. And it held us up, and we didn't want to advance because we were worried about it. But when we finally did advance, it took out half the team. And ever since then, it took us a little while to get our team to regroup and take on Radar 2 again.
So definitely a cool play from Wolfmörder. We did catch that to a degree. The OGL admins actually saw it, and I kind of caught it in the chat menu and began to report on it. But it looks like that was successful for them. Your victory tonight, 3-0, was predicted by many in the community. You had an 86% deficit for victory, and that's got to make you feel pretty good that the community looks to DT, to deathTouch, with such admiration.
Well, I knew Wolfmörder was going to be good. They wouldn't be as far if they hadn't been. They got a decent record in Cal. We knew they'd pose a challenge. I think it was pretty much that we had a chance to practice the map more, and we came out on top. I mean, what else is there to say? I think we wanted it more.
Well, you got that victory, and you definitely deserved it here tonight, and it was really awesome shoutcasting it. You know, there's some great matchups coming up, like the Abuse versus Darkside game, etc. Out of the remaining teams that could possibly be facing you in the final round, should you go to the final rounds, who do you think that you would like to face the most? Well, I want to see the teams that are going to stick with Return to Castle Wolfenstein. I want to see them in the finals. If the team that is here just for the prizes, I want them gone. So you're into the community. So I'd like to see us face. Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, I'm here for the community. You're into seeing the teams remain, the teams that really want to be here stick around, and that's a good thing to hear. Some great challenges ahead of you. There's many juggernaut-styled teams that are kind of lurking in the potential to be the finalists, and what kind of feeling does that give you when you know that you might be going against an Abuse or a Darkside or an Empire? How do you feel about that? Do you get excited? Do you get nervous? What's the general feeling that you have and that your team has when you think about some of the teams that you'll be coming against soon? Well, right now the games that I think everyone's dying to see is DT versus DS, deathTouch versus Darkside. That's going to be one hell of a matchup. You know, it really sucks that we're both in the same bracket. We won't meet in the finals, but next week I have faith that Darkside is going to take down Abuse, and next week is going to be whoever wins next week between deathTouch and Darkside is going to win it all. I'm sure of it. That is a moment that we're all waiting for. You know, this tournament has been great for everybody. It's really established the elite teams in this relatively new game, and it's given us here at TSN a chance to really have a good time with the action and excitement, and I really look forward to it. Now, do you have any idea, any speculations of what you think the final map is going to be? Just throw out kind of a clan leader guess. What do you think the final map will be?
Well, they want a Beachhead, man. There's no denying it, man. It's gonna be Beach. I'm sure of it. I think next week's match, our map is gonna be Assault. I don't know if it's been announced yet, but that map works in DS's favor. They're really strong on that map.
Now you're advancing to the next round, and the fun is just going to continue for you. Let me ask you another question. What makes deathTouch who they are? What makes your team flow so well? Is it the communication? Is it the skill level of the players you have? What would you say makes your team a success on the RTCW ladders?
Well, there's no denying that we've got great shooters, but there's a lot of teams that got great shooters. But what separates most teams from not top 5 teams is the strats. At this level of the game, strats win games, not gunning. You can ask any of the top tier teams. Everyone's guns are about equal. It's the strats. The best strat wins the game at this time.
And you really feel that, let me ask you this, who is responsible primarily for the creation of your strats? Is it the entire team? Is it just one man? Who is the strat master or strat masters of the deathTouch team?
We all got ideas. I would like to say that it would be me, but that's not true. We all put in equal time planning our strats.
Well, your strats, appear to be working, and you've fought your way this far, and we here at TSN and all the listeners are definitely looking forward to your next matchup that's going to be happening here next week. Any other shout-outs you'd like to give? I know you want to get with your team, you want to celebrate, you've got a victory under your belt here, and you want to plan for the coming days. Give some shout-outs out there to anybody you'd like to thank for supporting you thus far.
Well, then that shout-out would have to be for TSN, man. You guys have given us all kinds of love.
Well, that's awesome. You're welcome. It's been a lot of fun. And a big shout-out to you. Go celebrate and rest up for your next incoming fight. It's been good to have you.
Yeah, it's been great being here, man. And thank you for coming on match tonight. Not
a problem. Cap 1, team leader, deathTouch. Congratulations to them on their victory. Thorian predicts correct. 3-0 victory for DT. But don't count Wolfmörder out. I love those guys. I love that team name. And they have really shown that they deserve to be in the top echelons of the RTCW community. They fought their way up against all odds and fought a valiant and incredible game. Very shortly going to end this recording. And I'll be back online in about 40 minutes or so. The next matchup happens. Empire versus Krieg. A little moment of dead air here, and then we'll be back. We're going to finish things off tonight with the deathTouch theme song. Congratulations, DT. See you in a few.